Okay, this is part 3 of the previous lesson, an addendum. I forgot about or obviative. So I'll give you a couple examples. Really, it's very basic, right? Okay, atoshkeo, atoshkeyu, chiatoshket, chiatoshkeyet, and then you add in the conditional would be if, let's say, if my brother's wife is sleeping, he doesn't sing. So I would say, mon frère savait nagamoyache. Sorry, nipayeche. So it'd be if it was him. If my brother's sleeping, mon frère nipayeche. But if my brother's wife is sleeping, I'd say, mon frère savait nipayeche. Moya nagamo, or no nagamo. He doesn't sing. And the same with, that was VAI. Now VII. So he works if it rains. Sorry. Kimawaniche atoshkeo. Kimawaniche atoshkeo. Now again, sometimes I don't think people always will make that into obviative, even though it's kind of an obvious thing that you should do. So again, just listen, and sometimes it'll be like that, but not always. It seems like you can get away with, kimoa ke taatoshkeo, that sort of thing. But anyways, if it looks nice, I'll play my guitar. Miu na or miu if it's a good weather, right? Miu gishika gishagaye ge gawiye. Miu gishagawiye che. Yeah, miu gishagawiye che. Ngakato chigan mon guitar. Ngakato chigan mon guitar. Miu gishagawiye che. Ngakato chigan mon guitar. Again, I've never heard anybody say that, so maybe it's not all that common, but that is kind of how the endings work. Miuna guaniche, sorry, that last one. That doesn't make sense. Sorry, it would be if it was going to be obviative for if it's raining. So kimoaniche, it would have to be a third person for the one who's going to work, right? Taatoshkeo. And the same thing. Myogi Shigawiche Takatochi Geo son guitar. He'll play his guitar. Or Myunagwaniche Takatochi Geo son violon. Let's see if there's other obviatives. Obviative. Okay, Wapameo. Then we have, did I give you I don't even know if I taught you the obviative for the he sees him. Okay, and now I'm going to introduce you something new, another obviative. So we have wapameo is he sees the guy. Okay, person A sees person B. Then we have wapamego, which is person B sees person A. But what do you do if person B sees person C, or D, or E, or F, or G, or any of those people? Well, the answer is you add in the wapameyu. Wapameyu would be person B sees person C. So I could say, mon frère savait wapameyu ses enfants. Or ses enfants you. Ses enfants you. Mon frère savait wapameyu ses enfants you. And there you have it. Obviative seeing another obviative. It's not really, by not really common, I mean it's almost totally not common at all. But hopefully you'll recognize it if you hear it. Now, the inverse of that, believe it or not, there is an inverse, although I've never heard anybody say it. Theoretically, it should be wapamego, or is it wapamego you? Anyways, I better look that up and or I better ask and see exactly what that inverse is. Anyways, For the conjunct, it would be wapameit, and then the obviative would be wapameiche, and there would never be a wapameitwawe, because in this case with wapameiu, both the subject and the object are obviative, and therefore you can't have plural marking for either one of them. So it would just be wapameit, wapameiche. If now let's see if I can even use that in a sentence. Okay. Mon frère savait wapameiche ses enfants tatoshkeiu. And that is so not abstract, but imprecise. So I basically said, my brother's wife, if she sees her children, then the obviative actor is going to work. Although in this case, both her children and her are obviative, but the assumption, so again, it's very, very imprecise on what I'm actually saying, which is probably one reason why I never really hear people say it. I find that in Michif especially, they don't really get super complicated in the grammar, although it depends on the speaker. Some speakers use much more complicated grammar than others. Others like to make it a lot simpler, use smaller words, use shorter, by smaller I mean shorter words, and use a lot more, maybe even closer to English sentence structure, more French sentence structure. Anyways, so, do I want to do this now? Okay. There's also a form of, there's also a verb form for transitive animate verbs, a whole set for having like I see him and I see his wife. Nuapa Mao, John, and Nuapa Miman, John sa femme. I see John's wife. And I think I'm going to have to make that the subject of a later lesson. It ties in very closely with my second essay that I just finished writing. So I think I'll try and present all of that information at once. So for exercises for this one, again, try and write sentences with obviative. And remember that you're only going to ever use obviative if you have more than one third person in the sentence. And I don't expect you to get this all right the first try, but I would say do a bunch of exercises. I'm just piling on the exercises, but that's really the only way to get through all of this stuff, is to work writing it down, and then once you have it written down, read, have it corrected, read those back and forth, memorize sentences with the correct forms in them, and then it should start to stick and you shouldn't have to think about it anymore. Over and out.